we had downloaded so many different plugins to try to recreate the 303, and they were so hard to program. When you actually use this one and just kind of fuck with it naturally and just record the raw audio, you're gonna get the best sound. So that's something I've been really using a lot.
I mean, is there a fundamental thing that is quintessentially yours?
It's gonna be so basic. We're probably gonna say like the Ableton sampler, because that's kind of like where all my sounds, started from. Just that access to fucking up raw audio like I did when I first started with a hardware sampler. I always love putting stuff in there and finding weird sounds and making a polyphonic keyboard out of whatever you want. Which I would have done that if I had an MPC 3000, but those are so hard to program nowadays. You have different versions of it, like the Machine, or I really love the Teenage Engineering OP1, but fuck, it's a hard thing to learn.
Yeah. Are there any particular plugins that you like using, or any that you're particularly loving right now? I mean, do you respond to those changing developments as they're going on and come across something?
On the same tip of sampling, I've loved our Arcade, just because you can just lock into a key, and then if you're like stuck for a melody or like a change in the music, you can just find something random, like look up steel guitars and then play it at double time, and it's almost the same as using a record player and finding samples and transposing them. Plugin wise, I use a lot of Fab filters just to like slap on masters, and they don't sound that great sometimes, but if you tweak them, they do sound great. For synths, I'm still so basic. I'm into like Serum and Simplant, and the last couple of years I'm just recording a lot of live instruments,
yeah,
and then adding the bass lines with synths, because I can't do that naturally. And then when it comes to house music, people are kind of going back to old 90s rave sounds and synths. I think we've kind of like, we visited all the soft synths there were and all the sounds there are, and we kind of found like the classics in that world. Like I mentioned Respace and some of the rave synths that already have like chords on them that you just kind of program. I've been trying to make acid right now. That's all I've been working on. Nothing's been great, but I've been just really fascinated with like acid house. And we had downloaded so many different plugins to try to recreate the 303, and they were so hard to like program, to do the step sequencing, because they made it so classic like the original one. But when you actually use this one and just kind of fuck with it naturally and just record the raw audio, you're gonna get the best sound. So that's something I've been really using a lot lately. And it's an old piece of hardware. We found a vintage one on eBay. I read the Jay Dilla book. I really got even more fascinated by Detroit music from that book, and a lot of like the classic hardware.